What is going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new GM mode. It's that time again. We just finished up with the Vancouver Canucks. I did everything I wanted to do in the city of Vancouver. I won Stanley Cups. I brought superstars to the team. We drafted well. It was a fantastic GM mode. I have no regrets. I still am standing by taking Joe Gattenby, but if you're wondering what's going to happen with that GM mode, I'm going to play it in my off time, and I'll just do little updates here and there on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But it is time for a brand new GM mode. Like I said, we, because it's not just me, you guys are a big part of this. You guys are my assistant GMs and you help me out a lot. So I asked you guys in the comments, what do we want to do for the next GM mode? Since the game is starting to wind down a little bit, what are we going to do? There's a few options. Obviously, stay in Vancouver. That's not happening. Cancel that out. Option number 2 was do a regular fantasy draft, and a lot of you guys actually wanted that. So we are going to go with the fantasy draft here, but before you click off the video because you don't like fantasy drafts, let me tell you, this is going to be a fantasy draft that you have never ever seen before. So we did this thing in NHL 15, I believe it was, or 14, I'm not even sure at this point, where we did a legend GM mode, okay? We did it with the Winnipeg Jets, and we added a legend for every single team. So for example, for the Winnipeg Jets, I added Teemu Selanne. Who else did I add? For the Colorado Avalanche, I added Peter Forsberg, so on and so forth. For Vancouver, I did Bure, so on and so forth. So that was a lot of fun. We had a hell of a time there in Winnipeg. That was the introduction to J Money, which was Josh Morrissey. He turned out to be so good. We used him as a forward. He had like 40 goals a year. Eric Comrie was like 90 overall in net. And then Teemu Selanne. We also got Paul Kariya in free agency. It was crazy, okay? It was so much fun. But this time, it's going to be a bit different. Since this is a fantasy draft, I've went all out. I spent all of this morning, I'm talking from like 9 a.m. until now, it's like 3:30 p.m. I added about 50 legends to this game. 50! 5-0. It's somewhere in the range of like 40 to 50. There's so many. So honestly, I don't even know what team I'm going to choose because it really doesn't matter. What team really needs a Stanley Cup? And you're probably thinking, oh, Toronto. But I'm not going to go to Toronto. I think we're going to do a Washington Capitals GM mode. I think we're going to go to Washington here. Let's do a fantasy draft in Washington. Let's do it. That is straight off the dome. Coming into this, I had no idea what team we're going to do. Honestly, it's a fantasy draft, so really the only thing that you're going to be worrying about is your logo and your name, because everything is going to be wiped out. You have no players on your current roster. We're going to go with the Washington Capitals, okay? So get ready for this, okay? It's going to be very, very interesting since I added so many legends. And before I get into this, I just want to say I'm sorry that I didn't add your favorite player if he's missing. I'm sorry if I didn't add your grandmother's favorite player or your sister's. There's so many legends. I could have added 500 and I still wouldn't have even got them all. There's so many. I could have added this player and that player and this player and that player, but I did the best that I could. I tried to give everyone a legend and some. There's a few with 3 or 4, but again, so where are we going to select in the draft? I don't know. So this is a live commentary. Obviously, I'm not going to be giving myself the first overall pick unless it lands that way. As you can hear my controller click, this is completely live and completely random. Whether we pick first or 30th, that's where we're going to sit. I'm going to randomize it 5 times, okay? 5 times, and that's where we're going to get. If we get the 18th overall spot, we got to select in the 18th spot. 21st, 1st, 8th, 12th, doesn't even matter. We're going for it. So 5 times randomized. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We got the 6th overall selection. So the top 6 looking like Florida, Nashville, Arizona, New York Rangers, Los Angeles Kings, and the Washington Capitals. So my goal for this, I'm going to select the first pick. I'm going to manually do it. Then I'm going to let the computer select the rest of the draft, okay? Everyone else. Because if I did it Because if I did it, I would just pick McDavid, Eichel, all the prospects, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the first pick manually. This is going to be our legend, okay? This guy's going to hopefully be with us for the entire GM mode, and then the rest of the And the rest of the draft is going to be computer orientated, so let's go. The first overall selection, Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Mario Lemieux. That's exactly how I wanted it to. Go, actually. So Gretzky, Orr, Lemieux, Francis, and Lidstrom. We're in a great spot. 6th overall is fantastic, and there is a lot of players available. So first things first, I just want to let you know on how I graded every single player. Everyone is 22 years old with 5 green stars, and you're looking at Ilya Kovalchuk here. Oh man, that might be our selection, to be honest with you. But you look here, everyone is 5 green stars. You look at Bobby Hall, he's 5 green stars. The Rocket Richard is 5 stars, 22 years old. Mark Messier, exact same thing. So I think that Washington is used to having a left wing sniper by the name of Alexander Ovechkin, and we might have to continue that trend. Ilya Kovalchuk is going to be my first selection in the fantasy draft. Oh my god. And Gordie Howe, he goes to Chicago. You see Bobby Hall there, Hasek, Perreault, we got Mark Messier, Waugh, Fedorov. I added some very cool legends. You're going to see there the San Jose Sharks. They selected a goalie, Vladislav Tretiak. You guys may know who he is, you may not. You should Google him, you can learn a thing or two. And there is the first 30. So as you can see, you don't see any Ovechkin, okay? No Ovi. Crosby was taken by the Penguins. Oh my god, of course, right? Of course he went back to Pittsburgh. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sim the entire thing. Let's go. I didn't see who went where. I don't know what happened. I'm very, very nervous though. I don't know what is gonna happen. It's very cool though, because Ovi, it could be like a 3rd round pick because there's so many good players. A few things that the legends are gonna entail is there's gonna be a lot more scoring in the NHL, obviously. There's going to be so many goals being scored. It's going to be very interesting for free agency because everyone is on their entry-level deal for 3 years. So it's going to be very, very interesting. So the 32nd overall selection was this guy, Van Swampel. Gagne, I don't know any of these guys. FAHL, really, that's that guy's name. Thomas Chabot's not a bad prospect. Adam Pelech there. Fisher, I have no idea who that is. Nikita Sherbak, there is a good player. I like that a lot. Bracco, no idea who that is. Soldstrom, I think he's that goaltender. Daniel Sprong's pretty good. That's a nice prospect. Montour, no idea who that is. Marco Scandella, it's not terrible. Ty Ratty's pretty decent. Okay, so we're getting some prospects. Ty Ratty's going to be a legit NHL player for us. I think that's Benoit Pouliot. I may be wrong though, but not bad. Not bad. I'll definitely take it. Peter Holland, that's a good depth guy. Vili Polka, that's a good defensive prospect. Lars Eller, okay, got like a 2nd or a 3rd liner depending on how our team looks. Richard Panik, so we're in the 14th round here, and you can see players like Spezza went in the 14th round. He went to Dallas. Oh my god, is everyone just going to go back to their original teams? Who else we got here? We got Dmitry Yaskin, not bad. Martin Jones, there's a goaltender. I would have liked Malcolm Subban, but alright, computer, I think you're going to draft me a pretty decent team here. We're getting into the top 10. Matt Dumba, there's a good defensive prospect. Adam Lowry, oh no, over Ghost? You picked Adam Lowry over Ghost? Okay, alright, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we got Chris Tanev in the 9th selection. Probably could have been a better pick, like Ryan Kessler there. You can see went 23rd to the Dallas Stars. We got Burakovsky, who's not that bad. Then another Russian coming back to Washington. Okay, all right. Now let's see here. Here's gonna get into the really good players. Let's see. Okay, who's going number 7? We're getting into the really good players here, and we get Ryan Strome. Okay, that's not bad. Oh my God, holy crap. Okay, as I'm looking at this is really, really cool. Look at the 13th overall selection. The Edmonton Oilers pick Ryan Smith. That is the Ryan Smith that used to play in Edmonton, used to captain Edmonton for so many years. I cannot even make this shit up. That's crazy. So we got Crosby going to his original team, Spezza going to his original team, and a legend going back to his original squad. That's awesome. We got Ryan Strome. We got Oli Mata. Okay, so oh my God, are you kidding me? Look at the New York Rangers. They selected, guess guess who? Alex Kovalev, who played for the Rangers for a long time. This is ridiculous. This is wild. You can see there at the 21st overall selection, Rick Rippon is a legend that I added. You can have a look to see if there's anyone else here. I don't see any other legends in round 6, but Oli Mata, it's not bad. It's not bad. We're getting into the top 5 though, and Ryan O'Reilly. Okay, I would have much rather like Alex Galchenyuk or something like that. Any other legends I can see here in round number 5? I do see one actually went the first overall in round number 5, and that is Alex Radulov. I brought him back, and there's actually one more you can see. I'm not going to tell you, actually 2 more in round 5. I'm not going to tell you who they are though. You're going to have to scope them out for yourself. They are within the first 15 picks of round number 5 though, just so you guys can find it out. And round 4, we got Dylan Larkin. Oh man, we could have had Jack Eichel. Okay, alright, so you can see round 4, Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel both went in the 4th round, and Connor McDavid went to my Canucks. There you go. So some more legends here. You got Saku Koivu going to Nashville. You got Pat LaFontaine going to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Who else we got? Any other legends? We got Tim Thomas going to Buffalo. They get a goalie. And Phil Kessel going back to his original team, going back to the Boston Bruins. And you can see there Tim Horton is a legend I added as well, going to Pittsburgh. Now getting into the top 3. So we know we have a couple of Russians. We got Burakovsky, and we also got Ilya Kovalchuk. So who's going to be our 3rd overall selection? Who is it going to be? We already have a couple of Russians. Can we add another one? No, we get a Canadian, but we actually do get a Canadian in real life, a Montreal Canadian, PK Subban. That is wicked. I am stoked on that. You can see, like, Evgeny Malkin went in the 3rd round because there's just so many players available. So it's going to spread out scoring. I'm very, very excited for this. Any other legends you can see? Sergei Zubov went 25th overall to Buffalo. They got a couple of legends. Alexander McGillney went number 23 to Dallas. Anyone else I'm missing? Evgeny Nabokov went to the Nashville Predators. That's awesome. Who else here? You can see Ty Domi. That's another one that I added. He went to the Edmonton Oilers. So let's get our 2nd overall pick. I would really like a really good centerman, like a Jonathan Toews or something. That would be huge. And we get Tuukka Rask, a goalie. Okay. We could have had Mike Modano or Cam Neely or Daniel Alfredson or Shea Weber. Oh man, wow. Okay, so we end up with Tuukka Rask. Really not what I wanted. I would have really liked a centerman, because who's going to play beside Kovalchuk? Oh man, I don't really know. That's really not ideal, but you can have a look here. Here's where the majority of the legends went. You can see Hall there, Joe Sakic, Esposito, Solani, Bure, Chelios, Naslin, Quick's not a legend, Mike Bossy, Mika Kiprasov, Keith Kachuk. Ovechkin went 23rd to the Winnipeg Jets, and you can have a look there. There it is. So we don't have a centerman. That's what I'm seeing right off the bat. But I mean, we have Ryan O'Reilly. That's not bad. Dylan Larkin's at 85. That's really good, actually. Ryan Strome. Okay. All right. I like it. We got Kovalchuk. We got PK Subban, and we also got Tuukka Rask, who's at 92, which is just ridiculous. So I like the team. It's not ideal, but I definitely like the squad. So first off, let's see how everything looks, and then I'll do a quick little look around the NHL. We're not going to get into any simulating. I just want to get your guys' feel for this one before we hop into it, so we're not going to get any simulating done in this video. So one thing that's going to change in this GM mode is I am going to go ahead and I am going to play with injuries on, just to make it a little bit more realistic. And before the realistic comments can come in, this is not a realistic GM mode. It is a video game. I'm here to have fun with it. It's not supposed to be realistic. We're going to have as much fun as we possibly can. That's what it's all about. So enough of the realistic stuff. Let's have a look at our team. So we got Kovalchuk, O'Reilly, and Strome. Okay, so it's definitely not looking that great, actually. But we might be able to find some players in free agency. Oh man, this is not as good as I initially thought it was, but Kovalchuk's nice. Kovalchuk is really nice. You can have a look here. I tried to make their stats as realistic as possible. Obviously, Kovalchuk, his biggest downfall is his defense, even though it's not even that bad. He's really the complete player. Honestly, he really is. Ilya Kovalchuk is the complete player. But I tried to make everyone as realistic as I could. I tried to give them the correct jersey number. I tried to give them the correct I tried to give them the correct nationality. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rip through every NHL team, and you can tell me if you find any sort of problem with them, whether it's a number or something like that. So here's our team. Again, not really ideal, but this is a GM mode. We're supposed to work on it, and our defense is, oh my god, our defense is, that's something else. And Tuukka Rask there in the cage. So really quickly, like I said, we're going to go through every single NHL team. Our team may not be that great this year at all, to be honest with you. It may not be that great. We do have some pretty decent prospects, though. We got players like Sprong, and we got Ty Ratty, who's pretty decent potential. What's Sprong looking like? 4 green stars. So that's pretty nice. Again, let's have a look at everyone in the NHL, and you guys can tell me who you think has the best team out of the fantasy draft. This should be kind of fun. So again, there's our team. You've already looked at it. Let's go over to Winnipeg here. Ovechkin, Datsuk, and Hall, and Kopitar, and Dubinsky, and Nash. What? Man, we got shafted in this fantasy draft. And they got Girardi, Muzzin, a much better defense than us, and they ended up with Marc-Andre Fleury. Man, our computer screwed us in the draft. Look at these. Look at this. Oh my god, Winnipeg. Okay, have a look at Vancouver here. They got Hoffman, McDavid, Voracek. Even that's not bad. Depth's looking a little bit shaky. And defensively, they got Chris Chelios. So there's their legend, 91 overall. And I've actually got 2 legends. They got Terry Sawchuk, and they got Chris Chelios. So that's very, very lucky. Toronto got Bobby Hall. There's their legend. You can see Bergeron, Huberdeau. Not a bad team. Defensively, Justin Falk and Drew Doughty. Drew Doughty went home to Toronto. And in the cage, they got Peter Mazurek and Robin Lehner. They got a pretty good team. Let's have a look here at Tampa Bay. They got Pat LaFontaine and Johnny Gaudreau and Dave Tiger Williams. You can see 2 legends. They have Pat LaFontaine and Dave Tiger Williams. I made Dave Tiger Williams a 2-way forward instead of a grinder or an enforcer because he actually scored 30 goals a few times, although he's the NHL leader of all time for penalty minutes. So that's kind of cool. Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson. Oh my god, there is some stacked teams out there. And Dominic Hasek, they have 3 legends. Holy god. St. Louis ended up with Matt Sundin at a 93 overall. They also got Jeff Carter. Man, our computer absolutely screwed us in the fantasy draft. They got quick as well. Look at that defense, man. McDonough, Cronwall, Phaneuf, Chara. That is scary. Looking at the San Jose Sharks, they got Getzlaf, Stahl, Kucherov. They also got Adam Oates. So Adam Oates is their legend, 89 overall, and made him 99 passing, of course. They got Scott Stevens. They got 2 legends as well. Wow, okay. So they got 3 legends. They got Vladislav Tretiak. Why did we only get 1? We got shafted, man. We got shafted. Mike Bossy and Sidney Crosby on a line together. Holy crap. That is just going to scream goals. Looking at defense here, they got Tim Horton as well. He's the 86 overall guy. And they also got Varlamov in the cage. So they got their legend. They actually got 2 of them, and they got Crosby. So that's looking really nice. Philadelphia, they have Paul Correa, and they got, that's the only legend they got, I guess. Paul Correa, and yeah, I guess that's it. Nope, never mind. They got Paul Correa and Martin Brodeur. You can see there Johnson, Palat, and Correa. So they got the Tampa Bay duo there with the ex-Anaheim Duck. Moving over to Ottawa here, they have Brendan Gallagher, Joe Sakic, and Wayne Train. That's awesome. Defensively, looking like that, Pietrangelo, and goaltenders, I got Mike Richter in the cage, so that's awesome. Let's move over here to the New York Rangers. They got Ron Francis and Alexei Kovalev. That's wild. And Cam Neely, 3 legends on their offense. Holy crap. And they also have Ryan Johansson and Evander Kane. Holy crap. Kulikov, Ghost, Tyson Berry, and in the cage they have Connor Hellebuck. So, I mean, they have 3 offensive legends, and you can see where that's going to affect them defensively and in the cage. So that's a pretty nice team, let me tell you that. Let's look here at the New York Islanders. They got Maurice Rocket Richard. That's crazy there. There he is, 94 overall there, playmaker on the right wing. This team is stacked. They got Marlowe on the 3rd line. My God. They got Dustin Byfuglien, OEL, Dennis Weidman. Yeah, we definitely got Shaft. And they got Kiprusoff and Luongo. Oh my god, Luongo goes back home to New York Islanders where he was drafted. Looking at New Jersey, look at that first line. Jamie Benn, Nicholas Backstrom, and Pavel Bure. That is some Hut type shit right there. That's got to be someone's first line in Hut. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. What a line. Defensively, Kyle Quincy, Sami Vatanen. They must have a really good goalie. No, actually, Devin Dubnyk, but they got Jamie Benn and Pavel Bure and Nicholas Backstrom and Matt Duchene and Jonathan Drouin and Nail Yakupov. So that's a sick team. Looking at Nashville, they have Taylor Hall, Saku Koivu, and Jordan Eberle. So Hall and Eberle, they get matched up here back in Nashville. Very, very cool. Andrew Ladd, Ryan Spooner, and Louis Eriksson. Okay, what are they looking like defensively? Bobby Orr at a measly 99 overall. There he is. And looking at the goaltenders, they have Evgeny Nabokov and Andres Nielsen there. So not bad. Couple of legends there. Going to Montreal, Marcel Dion. Perfect. He went to Montreal. The guy from Quebec. They also got Mark Messier. So that's 290 plus overall legends to go with Zach Parise, of course. They also got Roman Josi. Who else are we looking at here? Andre Pavlik in the cage. Minnesota Wild. They got Jonathan Toews and Tyler Seguin and Max Pacioretty. Oh my god. And Aaron Ekblad. Holy. And they got Frederick Anderson in the cage. So that's a nice team. LA Kings. Braden Shen, Mike Modano, and they got Mikhail Bodker there. Anything else doesn't really look like it. And they got Nicholas Lidstrom. That's not terrible. And Henrik Lundqvist in the cage. Wow. Florida Panthers got Wayne Gretzky and Alexander Radulov. So there's their two legends. Very cool. Myers, Weber. Wow, they're stacked. And Bobrovsky in the cage. That might be the best team simply because they got Gretzky and Radulov. Looking at, oh my god, they got three legends on their first line. That is going to be a fun line. They got Ryan Smith, who is actually crazy that went back to Edmonton. They got Sergei Fedorov, okay, 93 overall sniper, and they got Ty Domi, an 87 overall right wing enforcer. That is quite a lineup. Wow, that's awesome. Sorry, I gotta go back here, look at their defense really quickly. Brian Leetch, they have four legends, and they got Jake Allen, so it didn't quite go with the fifth. They didn't get that greedy, but four legends. Wow, that is impressive. Detroit, they have Alex Steen, Zetterberg went back to Detroit, and Patrick Kane. Wow, Zetterberg and Patty Kane. That's sick. JVR, Henrik Sedin, Clark MacArthur. Okay. Mark Strike, Chris Letang, and who is in the cage? Braden Holtby. Very, very nice. James Neal, Steve Yzerman, and Alexander McGillney. What a first line. Oh yeah, they also have John Tavares, Joe Thornton, and Ryan Kessler. This is by far the best team. Holy crap. McGillney, Yzerman, and James Neal, and Thornton on the third line, and Kessler on the fourth. They got Mark Giordano, and in the cage, Corey Crawford and Cam Ward. Wow, very, very impressive. Looking at the Columbus Blue Jackets, they got Landeskog, Perreault there, 94. He's the legend from the Buffalo Sabres. Nathan McKinnon, Evgeny Malkin, and Rick Rippon. Rick Rippon, I had to add him in there. 85 overall enforcer, made him the toughest guy in the game. Who else did they got? They got Lindholm and Petrie, and Steve Mason went back to Columbus. Kind of funny how that works out. Let's look at Colorado here. They have Teemu Selanne went back to Colorado with Jean Beliveau, 93. Holy crap. And they also have Bacchus on the third line, of course, because why not? And looking at the defense here, John Carlson and Johnson and Pekka Rinne in the cage. That is impressive. Every team looks so good. And then there's us. Chicago has Skinner, Kachuk, and Gordie Howe. Oh my god. Nichushkin, Eichel, Perry. Jesus. Man, give me a couple players. We got Vlasic, Alsner, Pissick. Holy crap. And then Anderson in the cage. Carolina, Niederreiter, Couture, and Tarasenko. So no legends on the offense. Okay. No legends on the defense. But you did see there, it was Patrick Waugh in net, 94 overall. That is quite the team. Only one legend, just like us. Calgary, Marcus Naslund, Eric Lindros, and Marion Julian freaking Gabrick, as well as Marian Hossa, and a Philip Forsberg, and a Mikko Koivu, and a Paul Stastny. Oh my god. Keith Yandel, Brent Seabrook, and they got Bishop, of course. Who else they got here? Peter Forsberg went to Buffalo with Phil Esposito. That's awesome. That is quite a first line. Who else they got here? Looking like Sergei Zubov, who is a two-way defenseman, longtime member of the Dallas Stars. There he is. And in the cage, they have Tim Thomas, actually. Pretty cool. Let's go over to the Bruins here, who, oh my god, Toffoli, Stamkos, and Kessel. Holy crap. Again, that is like a hut lineup right there with Peary, Krejci, and Max Domi, Klimberg, and TJ Brody, and then Carey Price in the cage. And then almost rounding it all off here, we're going to do a couple more teams. Hornquist, Lemieux, and Daniel Alfredson. So there's that is quite a lineup there. Hedman and Brody in there, and then John Gibson and Vasilevsky. Over to Anaheim here. We're almost completed, almost done. Draisaitl and Marty St. Louis. There's a cool legend that I added. There he is, 92 overall. Al McInnes, another very cool legend, 92 overall once again. And as for the goaltenders, Cory Schneider and Dustin Tokarski. And that is going to end it all off. Wow. That is, it's definitely interesting. We got shafted. Like, you have a look at all those other teams, and none of them look quite as bad as us. I wouldn't say we look bad, but just not as well-rounded, I guess you'd say. We do have PK Subban, it's not that bad. And we got Tuukka Rask. So definitely some positives here going towards this GM mode. But there it is, Washington Capitals fantasy draft GM mode, legend style, Kovalchuk baby. We got a new Russian here in Washington, Ilya Kovalchuk. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you guys in episode number 2.